Okay, for everybody who's been asking, I went last night after emptying the truck from the Sears buyout yesterday, and then going and picking up the office supplies from the office storage unit that I bought out and putting those in my warehouse. I went last night after our live auction on Facebook to the 10 by 20 storage unit that I had bought when I bought the guy's 2-car garage. I loaded that, got finished last night somewhere around 12:30. And today, we just finished emptying the car. There is still a little bit more at the 10 by 20 storage unit. There's a room-size Kerosene rug and, maybe 20 or 30 bags of stuff and like 10 more boxes. But other than that, I'm just going to put that in my regular car. I'm going to take back the rental truck. But you guys saw in part 1 of that series that this unit was roughly half full. I restacked some of that stuff before, and then we just finished unloading the 18-foot truck and brought this stuff in. As you can see, there is a lot. There's going to be trash. I mean, I looked at some of the boxes. There's going to be porcelain dinnerware and stuff like that they thought was going to be good. Noritake, Nippon, Occupied Japan type stuff, some German porcelain. Some of it's going to be okay, but the majority of it's going to be junk. And I'll just send that stuff out to auction. There's, a bunch of Monopoly games. Pretty much the entire right side of this unit is, and it's stacked well over 6 foot. It's probably about 7 foot high. These are 14-foot ceilings in here, I believe. So it is stacked all the way to the back. The right side is mostly action figures and toys. As you can see, carded, looks like Batman Forever. I see wrestlers from here. And there's some more starting lineups even over into this side. And then there is some sports cards, not a lot. Dinnerware that's hideous. And just so much more. But there was a few good things. I just gotta remember where I put them at. There's a Cabbage Patch Cushy doll over there, like from the 80s. So there's some good stuff in here. I know I had people asking about records. This whole side, all these boxes right here are just full of rock and roll records. And then there's a huge tote over there filled with sealed rock and roll records. I have no clue what that is. Some kind of musical instrument case or metal casing. It's a Stag Universal Music. I think I looked in these. Yeah, there's some kind of band equipment cases. There was this cool chair with the wooden carving on it. But the things I saw, now obviously last night my phone died, so I had no light in the unit and obviously could not video record at 9:30 at night until midnight or after. But I did see when we were unloading this, which was really beautiful. Kind of reminds me of like a Tiffany lamp. It's definitely all slag glass, leaded glass. Each one is put in individually. Really beautiful pattern. I didn't see any chips or breaks in it. And then the other thing that I thought has like good potential was there's a mirror with slag glass and leaded glass in it. That was pretty neat. So there's some art and some paintings and other stuff like that. I have enough of that stuff already, so it doesn't really excite me. There's a cool table. It is pure steel. It weighs a good almost 100 pounds. No glass for the top of it, but still interesting. And all those boxes are action figures. There are all the black garbage bags are cassette tapes, sealed CDs, and I guess some VHS maybe and DVDs. I saw some boxes of that type of stuff. Again, not super exciting to me, but I'm sure there are collectors out there and certain pieces have some value. So this is a 10 by 25 unit. It is pretty full. I mean, some Linux boxes down there. So this was part 2. to that video. If I can figure out how to stitch it together, I'm going to add a little bit of video from my warehouse of all the stuff that we actually got from Sears, the way it's sitting right now. It's all the clothings and Gaylords. I just got a call today from a source that we may wind up working with in the near future. Since I don't know clothing yet and I'm trying to learn that market, any help is greatly appreciated from any of you thrifters that knows your clothing brands and stuff like that. I know this guy gets into all New York estates. It's the same guy I got the books from. He just told me that they try to do a couple sales a year with the clothing, and they want to get away from doing those sales. So he told me that he could probably sell me 100 to 200 boxes of clothing, and they throw out anything with stains and get rid of anything that's ripped, probably every 3 months. So 4 times a year, I might be buying 100 boxes of clothing and trying to figure out what brands are good, what brands are not, and so forth and so on. So the Patrick Ewing sneakers are now stacked away somewhere in this pile of loveliness. You know how your parents tell you not to do drugs? I am telling you, do not Mr. Buys a lot, because after this weekend, I have loaded and unloaded an 18-foot truck. I've done it, I loaded it last night by myself. I loaded it yesterday and unloaded it by myself. Sears employees actually helped me load it from Sears, and then my sons helped me load it the day before. So we've done 4 trips. I still have about, half of a truckload of stuff, or maybe a third of a truckload of stuff left to get, and then it will all be done. So I am actually looking forward to no more deals for a few weeks, hopefully. I do have some stuff being offered to me that, is out of my budget range. I was just offered the largest erotica collection in the world, or at least in the United States, from the author of many of the books on, erotica photography and stuff like that. But he has also 150 neon beer signs and advertising signs. So I'm going to look at the neon signs, even though I don't want to figure out how to ship those. But the erotica collection, he's looking for about $5 million on. So I am way out of that. Can't even think of numbers anywhere close to that. So, but hopefully this video turns out okay. This is part 2. Also want to announce for everybody who is asking me to source to them, I am perfectly fine with selling you guys stuff. I want everybody to join my Instagram if you can. It is Mr. Buys a Lot, very similar to this. I think there might be a period between the MR, so it might be MR period BUYSALOT, and if not, it's just MR BUYSALOT. But join my Instagram. I'm going to make the offers there. So like the barrels of remote controls, sometime this week, I am going to put a barrel of remote controls unsorted on there at a wholesale price. It will be first come, first serve. I have like 30 people who have asked me about selling those, and the DVD, VCR combos by the pallet. I'm going to put them there, and it'll be first come, first serve. Whoever says they'll take it, they'll have 24 hours from that point to make time to get out and pick it up. If not, it'll be relisted, and I just have to make time. I need to make space. I've got more stuff coming in the electronics field, and I just talked to the guy yesterday. He's willing to bring me more stuff, but I need to move what I have. So hopefully this video's of interest to everybody. If you see something in the video that I don't know, or that I have no clue about, which is probably a lot of it other than the toys. I know toys and paper goods are my specialties. The African art and that stuff is very cool. Obviously, there's the helmet I showed in the first one, and the figure, the drum with the pulled hide over it. But there's trains and, the 1800 circus posters there. I didn't put anything on top of it. But this is Mr. Buys a Lot. I am looking forward to seeing you guys Just going to try to keep making content. This week, I'm going to issue a challenge to everybody and to myself. So that video will be our next video. Hopefully, everybody enjoys part 2 here of this week's purchases. And I need Antiques Anonymous. So hopefully I'll see everybody later. Enjoy YouTube. Again, check out Lot of Josh and Lock Your Nuts and Wade's Ventures and all those other guys. They give you lots of great information for free. It is fantastic, the community that YouTube has and the ability to learn. So don't be afraid to learn. It's the most valuable thing you can do in this business. It's not about finding deals. It's about learning and gaining knowledge. That's how you make money. Okay, this is Mr. Buys-A-Lot. I'm going to sign off. So for everybody out there, just make it happen, Captain.